Before the video starts, I want to say that I'm a couple days late since the leaks we're going to discuss in this video came out like a week ago, but nonetheless, they look pretty interesting and show a lot of potential. As with every leak video, I want to start off by clearing out questions about the source and credibility. Well, these leaks were posted on Reddit. The person behind the post says that he got the information from somebody who claims that he knows about Resident Evil 4 Remake, and he says that he believes him. In other words, this is not 100% true, and you should take it with a grain of salt. However, they still are too interesting for us not to mention them. So enough talk, let's get into this. First, the post says that the Novistro doors are cut as well as the minigun enemy, JJ. I honestly don't mind any of these changes. The Novistro doors are too fast and attack in groups, and on top of that, they can turn invisible, which makes fighting them feel more annoying than challenging. In terms of JJ, I don't think anybody would have a problem with cutting him, since his contribution is not significant and he only appears during the island section. Next, it says that the remake will include 3 playable scenarios, the first for Leon, the second for Ada, and the last one for Sera. I kinda had a feeling they were thinking of including more than one scenario, but never thought of Sera having his own. This actually sounds pretty cool if you ask me. Moving on, it says that Krauser is reworked completely, and his mutation will take 5 stages to reach the final form, similar to what happens with William Birkin. It says that a dodge mechanic from RE3 and a block mechanic from RE8 are both featured in Remake. If this is true, a whole array of combat mechanics must be introduced, since these 2 mechanics will change the combat system in a game radically. Continuing, it says that there will be multiple Stalker roles in a game, but each one with a different ability. I'm not particularly a fan of Stalker roles, but if they are going to include them, then giving them different ability is a nice way to switch things up and make every Stalker enemy give a feeling different than the other. Dr. Salvador, the post says, will continuously mutate as his masks fall apart slowly each time you damage him in an encounter, sealing his presence in the game with a chainsaw duel against Leon in an island section. Given that Dr. Salvador constantly reappears in the game, I think it's a good idea to apply a continuous change on his appearance each time you encounter him to keep his fights exciting. Bitores Mendez is claimed to boast the ability to call out villagers to haunt you, as well as have a similar AI to that of Mr. X, which I'm guessing means that he's gonna have a Stalker role. It also says that his home will be expanded upon, and it will contain many puzzles that need to be solved before Leon is allowed out of it, and it will take some elements from the Spencer Mansion. The leaker goes on to say that Salazar's right hand, not that one, will be able to go invisible and surprise you with his attacks. Next, it says that Ashley will be more useful to Leon than her original version, and that the game will start with her instead of him. I think this is a great potential addition, as it will provide a backstory for Ashley so we get to know her character more and how she behaves in a regular environment in order for a better understanding of her feelings during her misery in Spain. Now, this is a surprising one. It says that Sera will not die, and instead, he will help Leon 8 times throughout the game and have a more in-depth backstory. It also says that in his campaign, he will have flashbacks of his father, and if you watched my previous video, you know that this last one might be able to reveal the merchant's true identity. Next, it says that along with the traditional buying and selling systems, the remake will include a crafting mechanic. The regenerators, according to the leaker, are entirely redesigned and have more variants and are much more scarier. The merchant is said to have more lore and backstory and have more interactions with Leon like the ones that occur between Ethan and the Duke in Resident Evil 8. Honestly, this is just amazing. As much as I enjoyed the Duke's dialogues with Ethan, I'm pretty sure this would be far better, as the merchant is a character that we all wait to discover his real identity. And more interactions with him will surely be interesting and most likely contain information that reveal his mysteries, or at least some of them. Moving on, it says that the castle is going to steal some elements from the Hookman section in a beta version of Resident Evil 4, and that Salazar will have more lore behind him as well as a giant spider which is optional to kill. It also says that Albert Wesker will have more lore, as everybody thinks he should, and he would be a small boss fight at some point throughout the game. The island section is said to contain much less action and to be focused in a lab, as well as contain a factory and multiple prisons. And finally, the 2 El Gigante bosses will be cut from the game. Besides his huge size, I always felt El Gigante was presented more like a regular enemy than a boss because of his excessive reappearance in the game. So I think cutting one of El Gigante boss fights is not a big deal at all. This is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed hearing about these leaks. If you did, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button and like the video before leaving. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.